Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to see whether a mere woman can put some roof rails on her van. I went into Halfords. Bear in mind, I've fitted roof rails before. I fitted them to my Berlingo. I went online, found the right parts, right vehicle, because I wasn't prepared to pay Citroen prices. And they were really easy. They were a nice aluminium set, easy to put on, no problem at all. But I thought, you know what, for ease of it this time, let's see if Halfords can fit a set for me. The guy on the desk was patronising beyond belief. You don't want roof rails, you want roof bars. I said, no, I want roof rails. I've got a set of bars at home, and if they don't fit, I'll come back for bars, but what I want is rails. No, that's not what you want. I think you've got a bit confused. No, I'm not confused. He took me out into the car park, pointed at a van with roof rails on and said, see, they're rails and that's not what you want, is it? Yes, that's exactly what I want. Oh, well, we don't sell them. They come on the vehicle. You don't put them on yourself. Right, okay. I said, do you have anyone in here who knows any more about this? Oh, we'll go and see the parts guy. Parts guy was actually really helpful. He said, no, we don't do them. He said, we do some for small cars, but come out and have a look. He came and had a look at the car park, looked at my van and went, no, but there's a roof rack guy next to it, probably will. Went to the roof rack guy, had a very similar conversation. You don't want roof rails, you want roof bars. No, I really do want roof rails. He listened a lot quicker though, thankfully, but just couldn't sell me what I wanted. So back to good old Amazon. I've ordered this set by Turtle. Let's see what they're all about and see if I can get them on a van. Okay, so today's challenge, that I thought would be a lot easier than it is, I've ordered some roof rails for my Ford Transit Courier. Now, I ordered a set for my Citroen Berlingo, and they were really easy to sort of put on. They came pretty much ready to go. I've opened all this up and it's all in parts, so I've actually got to put the roof rails together myself first. The instructions look okay, although not particularly comprehensive. Oh, it does make a little bit more sense now I've seen it on the video, so there is also a video to watch which I've done. So let's give it a go. Okay, I've watched the video a couple of times now. I think I've got the front sections the wrong way around, so I'll swap them over and then see what we can do. No, I'm pretty sure they are right. They were showing the longer section towards the outside of the car, which this would be. I think that's got to be right. So, section on, push the end foot bit in, flip it over. Does it look as though it will match? Yes, it does, and looks as though it will sit well. Okay. I'm going to assume the back feet are the same and the longer section on the outside. Okay, back feet are actually really easy because there is only one way they can fit on. Right, I haven't actually bolted anything yet because although it shows bolts on the front page, I'm pretty certain that's just a demo how they're going to go onto the car. So my next stage is to remove parts of the car. So let's get up there and have a look. So I've got the two middle ones, or back and one forward on the back, and the front I'm looking at, front, there we go, it's the two on the top. Let's get up there and see if that makes sense. Getting up here to look, it's hex keys I need, which they haven't included, but I've got plenty of, so I'll go and find some. These are really easy to remove, even easier than the Berlingo. So get them to a certain point and then just do the rest by hand. Then put them somewhere safe. I'm using a dog bowl for mine today because they inevitably go missing. Okay, that's all of these out. Two were trickier than I thought. The holes on top, whether someone's tried before with the wrong size hex key, I don't know. But actually they were easy enough to do with my fingers, so that's no problem at all. This is the bit that I'm not so happy about, using silicone. It just seems pretty permanent. I think I'm going to watch the video again just to make sure I get this right. Where I'm getting a bit confused is in the video they discard part of this bit, and on the instructions they don't seem to. Stick the sponge tape around the bolt slots as shown. Right, okay, so I do take the middle bit out, but the rest around it. Squeeze the liquid rubber in the middle of the sponge as a thick layer. Well, how wrong can this go? Okay, pierced foil on the sealant. I've cut off the end. I'm going to take all the middle bits out, and then we're ready to go. Okay, I've taken off the orange bits because they are self-adhesive. And now, oh, this just doesn't feel right. Right, I've been brave and done it. Squirting is a thick layer. It takes 3 minutes to dry. Okay, I've been an absolute wally, but have thankfully realised before I did the sealant. So on the back, I only actually needed to remove one of those discs. What I was looking at as two in the photo is them showing it being removed. So I can put the front one back on and just keep the back one off. Let's go do that. Okay, I got my hackers together and went back and gave them a thicker layer as described. So I'll give them all a few minutes to make sure they're dry, and then we'll carry on. Right, let's go for it. I'm going to start with the left-hand side because it's one I put the sealant in first, and on my driveway here it's the harder standing as well. So I'm going to put a screw in the back foot first, and then two in the front. It does come with a little spanner for the job. Okay, although a key is provided, it's going to be a ridiculously long job, so I'm going to go and see if I've got a ratchet. Okay, I couldn't find the attachment for the ratchet. This has worked really well, and then I'll just finish off with the smaller spanner. Okay, this one at the front, you've got zero chance of doing that with the small spanner. You will need a ratchet or something similar, just because you can't get in there. Okay, I still can't find the correct handle, but you know what? I have found a screwdriver that fits perfectly. Okay, time to finish off. Okay, well that's worked really well. You can get much tighter than you ever can with a spanner. So that's back done, front done. Time to read up on the next instructions. Okay, next step really does look as simple as sliding the cover forward and clipping it into place. I better do this two-handed, I don't want to break it. Okay, that did take a bit of wiggling, but it is now in place. I would like to see stronger connections on that, in all honesty. The front one is broken. Sorry, back one's broken, front one's in place. It's not going anywhere, and hey, if it really came to it, I'd tape it down. But yeah, maybe they could do with just being a little bit stronger. But there we go, it's on. Back one, super easy. Literally just slide and click. And that's on. Right, now to do the same the other side. Okay, so that's in place. Just before I put this cover on, let's have a look. And yeah, I would say that is the one weak spot in the design. I'm impressed with everything else. If there could just be another screw here or something to fix in place, that would be really useful. They've clicked into place really nicely, but as you can see, it's all firm in place. But I'd just like a little bit more security at the front there. Just that's my personal choice. There we go. Set the roof rails on. There we go, that's a set of roof rails on. I'm going to go and have a cold drink, and then we'll tackle the roof bars. Okay, I've had a break, come back out, time for the roof bars. Let's see what they're like. Okay, same process. Let's have a read through the instructions and see what we're doing. Again, it looks overly complicated just from the paper instructions, but I don't think it will be once I actually start. What appeared to be random to start with actually all fits in place really very nicely. Part of me was thinking, why don't they just assemble them before they send out? And then I thought, actually, of course, that's what keeps the price down, which is fair enough. And I'd rather have lower priced products available and do the assembly myself. I'm not quite sure why the rubber section is so long, but it's the same on both, so it's not as though I've got one on the short and one on the long. I won't cut them net until I know for certain it's right. Easiest way, I tried sliding in from one end, doesn't work, so I've sort of done a few inches at a time, pushing the top, then the bottom, then moving to the next few inches, top and bottom, and that's worked really well. Right, that's all the fiddly parts assembled. I am going to have to cut that rubber, aren't I? Because my next step is putting the feet on, and they're not going to fit. So let's get that cut. Okay, this section on the end just doesn't look or feel right, but actually when I turned it the way up it will be, there's more room there than I thought to grip around the bar. So I'll carry on as I am. I've left that very loose. I'll do the same with the other one, or the other three rather, and then go from there. Okay, that's both roof bars ready to go, and it says on the instructions that the longer one is for front, so that's what we'll do. I'm going to get them up there, fix them on. I don't really know about spacing until I know what I'm putting on them, but we'll get them up there, and these do come with an Allen key. Makes life a bit easier, so let's get that done. Okay, earlier on I said I wasn't happy with the way the feet were looking, so I've turned those round. See how this is indicating the pointy bit facing that way? I've turned them the other way round now because that just wasn't going to happen. But also, the long one for the front, it doesn't fit, so I'm going to try it on the back. Okay, this just isn't making sense. I've swapped the feet back to the way they were originally, which mirrors what's in the picture. So pointy bit facing down. Yeah, it all looks like it should work, but there's just simply not enough room to get that around the bar. And I can't have that any looser, it's barely attached as it is. You can't really put it on when they're on there. There's not room for your fingers underneath. So I'm not sure about this. Okay, the only thing I can think, I've turned around this plastic bit here, which I think does just give that tiniest extra bit of room. So I'll go back to the one I've got on the car, do that with that and see if it works. Right, I've noticed that in this photo, the bolt comes downwards from what would be the top, which is what I've been trying to do. But then you look at this photo where they're actually putting it on, and it's the opposite way round. The bolt comes upwards from the bottom with the nut at the top. So I'm going to try that way. Okay, that's me done. That is roof rails and roof bars on. They took far longer than my previous set, in all honesty. But I do like the quality generally. Plastic, could have just been finished off a little bit nicer. And actually I'm really not impressed with these feet. I've gone with having them the opposite way to how they're described, but they're on firmly, they're not going anywhere. There are caps to go on top of screws. I'll do that once I know what I'm putting on top and how wide apart I want the bars. So there we go. A mere woman can put a set of roof rails and a set of roof bars on a van. Thank you very much everyone.